guys, welcome back to the Bitesize Guitar channel and to another guitar tutorial. Today we're going to be taking a look at Oh Yeah by Green Day. So I'm going to take you through how to play the riff first, then we'll look at the chords used throughout the various sections of the song, and at the very end of the video I'm going to play along to the original track using headphones so that you in turn can play along with me should you want to play through the entire song. Okay, so let's take a look. Okay, so chord-wise, there's actually very little to this song. So let's begin by taking a look at the guitar riff that acts as the intro and plays also in the verses of the song. So we're going to be playing this part. So starting on the second fret of the bottom E, we're going to play that note twice with a slight rest in between each iteration of that note. So 2, 2. That second 2 then leads us immediately onto our open A string. So that 2 and open A are sort of a little pair. So we get 2, rest 2, O. Again. We then have exactly the same rhythm, but starting with our open bottom E string. So we play that note twice. Before we finish with a slight hammer-on to the second fret. If you're not comfortable with playing hammer-ons yet, don't worry, you can play it clean and it sounds pretty much just as good. But otherwise we're going to play that string open, and immediately after we play it, we're going to bring our first finger down onto that second fret on the A string. So again, that would be... So you can see there is a slight delay, but it's pretty much immediate. I'm playing the open A and hammering down onto that second fret. We then simply play that exact same note twice more, but just clean this time, no hammer-ons on those second two. So that whole riff played together, second fret on the bottom E, with the rest, second fret to open A, then we go back to the open E, hammer on the 2 on the A, and then twice more on that second fret on the A. So that's the first part of our riff. I'll play that one more time for you smoothly all together. So we've got... Now the first bar of that riff, that second fret played twice, then the open A, is unchanged throughout. That's how the riff starts every time. However, we're going to alternate between that first part that I showed you, where we go back onto the bottom E string, hammer, double up on the 2. To every second time that we play the riff, we're going to play twice on the bottom E, so this is still in that same space, but instead of that hammer onto the 2 and then the double on that second fret, we're going to slide into our 4th fret on the A string. Now I'm doing that from the 2nd fret, but really anywhere that makes sense. You don't want to be sliding completely off the guitar, but from the 2nd or 3rd fret is kind of a good distance, so you still have enough control sliding into that 4th fret. You're not coming from miles away and sliding completely past that note, but also gives you enough time to really get a sense of that slide. So again, that's sliding into the 4th fret on the A. I'd recommend you do that with your 3rd finger, as the next note we're going to play is the 2nd fret on our D string. So we want to be able to have a finger that can easily access that 2nd fret. We don't want to be doing that with our 1st finger, that slide, and then find that we can't physically reach that 2nd fret. So again, that's a slide into 4 on the A string, catching the 2nd fret on the D string, and back to the 4 on our A string. So those 3 notes are slide to 4, 2nd fret on D, back to 4 on the A. And putting that into context, including our first bar where we're starting on this F sharp on the 2nd fret, we get... So putting all that into context, including our first bar where we start on this F sharp at the 2nd fret, we get... So now if I play you the entire riff from start to finish, you should see what I mean by the fact that that second part sort of alternates between the part where we hammer at the 2nd fret and the part where we slide to 4 and finish off with that 2nd and the 4th fret. So that whole riff should sound something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So part 1, part 2, and it's worth distinguishing between those two parts, firstly just to help you memorize and break down that riff into smaller chunks, but also at the end of our chorus, going back into our second verse, the band actually plays part 2 as a sort of bridging section. So after we come out of our chorus, we simply get, and then we start up our verse with part 1 of that riff again. Okay, so with the riff acting as the musical accompaniment for our verses, let's take a look at the chords we're going to be using to play the bridge and the chorus. So we're going to start off with our F sharp power chord. Now you could, if you wanted to, play all 6 strings and play the full F sharp major chord, but as we're kind of looking for that more aggressive, punkier edge, we're just going to stick with the F sharp power chord for now. So playing only the bottom 3 strings. We're also going to be playing an E major shape and an A major shape. So let me just take you through how to play those 3 shapes in case any of them are unfamiliar. The F sharp power chord, as I said, we're only playing the bottom 3 strings, so the E, the A and the D. On the E string, you're going to be using your first finger, very similar to a bar, at the 2nd fret. On the A string then, we're playing with our 3rd finger, the 4th fret, and likewise on the D string, also our 4th fret. Now if you want to simplify that even further, you could just play the bottom 2 strings if these are really new ideas to you, both power chords and bar chords. So if you're finding reaching all the way up to the bottom E string a little bit of a stretch, perhaps you just want to play the 2nd fret on the bottom E and the 4th fret on the A string with either your 3rd or your 4th finger. But I'd encourage you to try and play all 3 strings just to get a slightly fuller chord sound. Moving on to our E shape, here we're playing the open E string, 2nd finger plays the 2nd fret on the A string, 3rd finger plays the 2nd fret on the D string, 1st finger on the 1st fret of the G string, and the B and E are both open. We're also going to be playing an A major shape, which is open on our A string, not playing the bottom E string at all, and then playing the 2nd fret with our 2nd finger on the D string. 1st finger is going to play the 2nd fret on the G, and 3rd finger is going to play the 2nd fret on the B. The high E again is open. Now that's sort of the textbook way of playing that chord, but in this instance on this song it's really only going to be a passing chord, and you may in fact, we're going to be moving from the E to the F sharp using this A chord, so you may find it slightly easier to simply use one finger, your 1st finger perhaps, to just lay across those 3 2nd frets on the D, the G and the B. It's quite a relaxed chord in fact, and it doesn't matter if you don't get all of the strings to ring out nice and cleanly, as long as you're getting the A string and the 2nd fret on the D, you should at least get an A power chord, which again is kind of the sort of vibe we're going for. Okay, so let's take a look at where those chords fall in the various section of the song. Okay, so as I said already, our verses are pretty much taken care of with us playing that riff. However, when we get to the bridge section, we're going to introduce our F sharp power chord. And the rhythm that we're going to play that in is simply 8ths. So we're going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... But contrary to what I might have taught you in previous videos, I want you just to play all of those as down. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and down, 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 down. It just gives the song a slightly more aggressive edge, and the song isn't really too quick, so we don't have to worry about kind of wasting movement by not playing those ups. So simply all downs, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and we're going to be playing that F sharp and nothing else for the bridge section, which lasts for a total of 8 bars. So just 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4, etc. for 8 bars. So just to give you an idea of how that should sound within the context of the song, this is kind of what the bridge sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4. Everybody is a star. Got my money and I'm feeling kinda low. everybody got a scar. Ain't it funny how we're running out of hope? Which leads us nicely onto our chorus. So in our chorus, we're going to be playing one entire bar of E major, where the final beat of that bar, we change onto our A major, simply for one beat. So we're going to be like E, 2, 3, 4. E, 2, 3, A. That A then leads us immediately onto our F sharp power chord, where we're again playing a bar of F sharp, with the final beat of that bar, likewise occupied by the A, leading us back to the E. So let me just put those two bars together. You're going to have E, 2, 3, A, F sharp, 2, 3, A, and back to the E. Now when we land on that E for the second time, it's still going to be a bar, but this time we're not going to hit the A at all. So just one entire clean bar of E major, and then likewise down to the F sharp again for one entire bar of F sharp with no A. So if I put all of that together for you so you can hear what that sounds like in context, it sounds a little something like this. So 1, 2, 3, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Okay, so that's pretty much all the chordal sections of the song put together. There's one more part that plays over our outro that I'd like to show you now before we take a look at a full playthrough of the entire song. Okay, so just before we get to that playthrough, the outro section of our song, we actually go back to our F sharp power chord. However, this time we're simply going to be hitting octaves. So we're going to be playing the lowest F sharp note, and then we're going to be skipping over 2 strings and up 2 frets to hit 8 notes up the octave of that same note. So we're going F sharp, F sharp. So that's 2nd fret on the E to 4th fret on our D string. So both of those notes, you'll notice, we're in our power chord. So we're simply hitting the lowest note in the power chord to the highest note in the power chord, which, as I said, are the exact same note, an octave apart. And this only happens at the very end of the song, and it happens for 15 iterations, if you like. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. At the very end of the song, we simply finish with an F sharp. So you'll see when we come to the playthrough exactly what I mean by this and be able to see much more easily how it sounds and looks in context. But essentially, yeah, just practice bouncing back and forth from the 2nd fret on the bottom E to the 4th fret on the D, and try and use the same fingers that you've been using to play that power chord. Simply because it will give you a good workout for your fingers, but it also means when you come to hit that final chord, your fingers are already in the correct place and you're simply adding in the 3rd finger and pressing down for the entire chord. Okay, so that's pretty much all there is to the song. So now let me take you through a quick playthrough of the entire track. Now I'm going to be listening to the original on headphones, so if you want to play along with the original track, feel free to just do that. However, if you'd like to be able to see what the parts look like as you hear how they sound, then please skip to the end of this video and play along with me playing along with Green Day. I'll see you soon. watching. That's the end of this video. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe to the channel and give this video a like if you enjoyed it or found any of it useful. You might also like to check out some of these videos and let me know in the comments section below what you'd like to learn next. Until then, I'll see you there.